Hi, hey, hello, Miss Steele here. You can see me here at the bottom. These are my hands showing you what we're going to be doing. So this week we are talking about shape and we are talking about lines. So we are going to combine both of those together to make our very own underwater aquariums. I'll hold it up a little bit closer. So this is one I've already finished, but we're going to make one together. For this project, you're going to want paper, pencil eraser, definitely some of our art tool basics, a black marker, I have a Sharpie, but any black marker can work, a ruler, and if you don't have a ruler, you can use something that has a straight edge, like my colored pencil box, because you also want something to color in with. So I have both of these. I have some markers and some colored pencils. I'm going to move these out of the way because we do not need them yet. We are going, I'm going to try to adjust this to get this a little bit closer. We are going to start out with our lines. So to make our aquarium, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a big X, and we're going to go from corner to corner, which is how the ruler kind of helps. So I can kind of move it and try to get it as close to both corners as possible. And we'll have our first straight line going diagonal. Now we're going to do it for the next side. So I'm going to take my paper and I'm going to draw another line, just like that. So now we have a big X on our paper. Now we want this aquarium to look realistic. So things that are farther away will be smaller and things that are closer will be bigger. So I'm going to draw my floor and I'm going to draw it really close. And then for the next one, I'm going to make it a little bit farther away. And then for my last one, I'm going to make it even more farther away. So you can see it's not as much space, more space, even more space as we get to the edges, because that's more close. Now, if you want to make your floor into a checkerboard, what you can do is going from the center, you can draw 2 or 3 lines coming out just from the middle like that. Boom. And now we have our floor. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some bars almost, something that can hold up the top of the aquarium. And to do this, I draw 2 straight lines on both sides. Just like we did with the floor, towards the middle, it's going to be closer. And then for this top one, I combine them together, but instead of a straight line, I make it a round line. So we're moving from straight lines and going to round lines, just like that. So for my next line, I'm going to give it some more space. This was really close. Now I'm going to move it a little farther away, like that. And then again, I'm going to go in with a round line on top. Like, ooh, my pencil broke. Like that. And then I'm going to do my last one, and I'm going to give it a little bit more space right here, and then try to draw the same line on the other side, right about right here. And then if my round line doesn't fit on my paper, what I can do is start to round it, and then hop off, and then come back to this other side and draw another round line and hop off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back with our black marker or colored pencil or crown, whatever you have, and we're going to go over these lines with our black marker like that. And this will help these lines kind of stand out and be more noticeable, because we're going to color on top, but if we use this black marker first, we're not going to be able to see the stuff on top as much as this. So I'm going to go through, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over all my pencil lines, and then I'm going to go back with my eraser. If you can see closely, some of my pencil lines are like hanging out a little bit in different areas, and I'm going to go back and erase them. So I'm going to finish going over my pencil lines, and then I'm going to erase any pencil lines that might be hanging outside of where I drew my marker lines. So I have everything outlined, and I erase my pencil lines in the background, Now I'm going to color this in like a checkerboard. So I remember it's my floor, and then I can decorate all around for my aquarium. And what you add into your aquarium is kind of up to you. Since we're talking about shapes this week, whenever you're drawing your aquarium creatures, you want to think about what geometric and what organic shapes you're adding in. So if you see, I colored these two, so now I'm going to color this one because you want it to be a pattern, so you don't want to color them all in. And then, since I have this one colored in, I'm going to color in these two. So I'm going to keep coloring in my floor, and then I will be back, and we can start working on all of our different like fish and details we're going to add into our aquarium. I normally add about 6 or 7 things, but for you guys, you only have to add, yeah, we'll say at least 4, but if you want to add more, you definitely can. So I'm going to finish getting this colored in, and then we can start drawing around here. So I have my floor all colored in. What I can do now is I can come back with my pencil and I can start adding things into my aquarium. If you look at this one I have some jellyfish, kind of like a shark sort of thing, an octopus, some normal fish. I added in a little treasure box, and of course a little anchor. I'm trying to get this to focus more. So that's what I'm going to do with this one. What I'm going to do here along the bottom is I'm going to go back and add in kind of a wavy line. And this will be my sand at the bottom that I can draw stuff on top of, similar to what I have right here. I drew a wavy line at the bottom for my sand. And then I can start adding in stuff. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different things. But you at least have to have 4. If you have more, you can definitely do that. I'm going to start with drawing an octopus, and I'm going to draw an octopus over here. I'm going to press I'm going to press harder than I normally would, just so you can see it a little bit better. So I always start out for an octopus head with kind of a wibbly wobbly kind of circle, because they kind of float in the ocean. I'm also going to go grab a new pencil, so I will be right back. I started with definitely an organic shape right here for this, and then to add on the arms, I kind of do the same thing. And I kind of just wrap around like that and keep adding kind of squiggly wiggly lines and organic shapes. And sometimes I make them overlap and kind of come back. And then I keep going until I can get all 8. So I'm at 4, 5, 6, 7, and here's our 8. Just like that. Another easy thing is jellyfish. For jellyfish, it's more of a geometric shape because you start out with a bunch of half circles like that. And then I add bumpy lines on the bottom. You can experiment. You can draw realistic sea creatures. You can make up your own. That is entirely up to you. Here on the bottom over here, maybe I'll draw a treasure chest. I want to remind you, because it's so much smaller back here, things might be a little bit smaller in the background because they're farther away, and things that are towards the outside edge will be bigger because they're closer to us. But to draw that, I start out with a square, kind of like a rectangle, and then I add a curved line on top just like that. And you can keep adding stuff all around. Start coloring them in. As you can see, I kind of like to outline a marker and then color in. But how you color it in is kind of up to you. You can make it as colorful or as like kind of oceany blue as you want. But we're using lines. We're using shapes together for this. Here is the one I've been working on with you. Here is one that I have finished. I cannot wait to see how yours come out, and I will see you guys all next time. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, your evening, your afternoon. Goodbye, you guys.